So, Wilma here from Freya's Daughter, and I had made or attempted to make or made this video before, and something got all messed up, and then it never uploaded. And anyways, it was a nightmare. So I'm doing this again now, and hopefully this will work this time. So, the Tarot of Enchanted Dreams. And I bought the big box. I'm not even sure if she's still selling them. Maybe. Got on Etsy. Get most of my decks on Etsy or on Kickstarter. Although the Kickstarter ones that's a sort of a long, usually when you get a deck from Kickstarter, you don't expect to see it for a while. Yeah, so that's sort of a long-term process. But this one, I did buy it on pre-order, and it wasn't too bad. And I got the one with the tin and everything. So this was I was so happy to get this deck. I loved the images, the Tarot of Enchanted Dreams card. I'm number 50 of 100. There was only 100 made of these ones in the tin, but the regular ones. So nice big book. Look at that. Excuse me. Full color, right? Love that. I love it when people I love the full color, especially her images are so dreamy, and I love the color, that sort of like muted blues and mauves, and everything about this deck I just thought was just delicious and beautiful. Anyway, so yeah, and so she's got her keywords and the meanings and a question and affirmation. I love, again, I've stated to you, I love it when people take the time to do what they did, to write something like this up. Just not like I said before, it's just not something that I would do, because of course I don't like to reinvent the wheel, and if I don't have anything new to say, I don't really want to go there. But I do realize that people like to have their little light books with their cards. I personally didn't do it with my deck, but I don't tend to read them. They sort of get set aside. But as far as from a collector standpoint, as part of a set, it's great. So inside this, it comes in this burlappy it's got sparkles. Like, can you see that? Sparkles on this. So just very well done. Very well done. Congratulations. You did an awesome job in your presentation. So that there's always that, everyone loves beautiful presentation. And you know what? It sounds so friggin' shallow. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice. So she's got a little card here as well. Welcome to the Tarot of Enchanted Dreams. How this deck gives you as much joy as it gave me when I was creating it. So I don't think these are not in order. Ha 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 ha. I must have got them all mixed up. But I'll just go through them quickly and talk to you. So this is digital collage that she's done. And some of the images that I've seen that she's used, I've seen in the course of me searching for my images for my deck, which is kind of fun. And some of them, but again, that's the creative aspect of an artist, is sort of taking that material and kind of, adding to it and making it your own. And what I think love about this deck is that essentially what she's called it, which is the Tarot of Enchanted Dreams. And it really does have that feeling and that sentiment. By the way, here are the backs. So these are the big ones. She did a deck that was smaller. So yeah, the cardstock is good. She chose to do glossy, which is what I chose to do for mine as well. And they feel like they would shuffle really, really nicely. There's no gilding and stuff on the sides, but that's fine. Not everyone, not every deck has to be gilded. Let's be honest. I have to say this was an expensive deck. So I paid a lot of money, I felt, for this deck. So it may not necessarily be, I think the smaller one was less expensive. But, the images are beautiful. It's got this a small slight border. My cards have borders too, so there. So this was an image that I came across myself too, which I loved. I loved that. And she just, the way in which, I love, it's just, there's a lot going on there, a lot of depth, real dreamy quality. Her use of light in the cards is just lovely. So what you find is you have that sort of, it really draws you in. So you have those kind of, there's a sense of luminous. Some of the images have that luminous quality to them. So it's very magical. It's a magical deck in that respect. So it gives you that real, otherworldly. That's the word. Otherworldly sense. And it's like you're walking into sort of this world of the Fae. Danielle Noel with her Moonchild Starcher has that same kind, there's that same feeling, right, in her decks as well, of kind of sort of stepping into this kind of like otherworldly realm and magical. This feels to me, well, this is a very feminine deck. Not that men can't use feminine decks, of course not. But I sort of feel like it's just the kind of thing that, I don't know, that attracts me because as a woman and really, appeals to my female sensibility. Definitely a deck I think that you could read and use. It doesn't seem that difficult to be able to read with. For the most part, kind of utilizes the Rider-Waite-Smith imagery. There's that typical Eight of Cups card, right? Walking away and leaving things behind. So, for those of you who know the system, you would be able to read this deck. All her court cards, this is what I remember now. So she's got a consistent theme with the court cards. So you've got, all the knights have the knight helmet, and then the element. All the kings have the throne and the crown. So there's a consistency there in that respect. She's also color-coded them too, so you notice here in the wands, the color has shifted to sort of that, right? The warmth of that fiery warmth color. So that, I like it when people do that, when they kind of, I love that when people will color code things. I didn't do it in my deck. I just sort of had the two, sort of the light and the dark, but maybe for a different one, a new one, I'll do that, be more creative. All the queens, of course, are just, right, the torso, but beautiful. Very nice. So yeah, I love the fact that she's got a lot of dancers in her deck. I a dancer, belly dancer. So consequently, I love seeing that. So yes, so lovely. I'm just very pleased to have this deck. This for me will definitely be one that I will, well, I would like to, to read with, and was an important one to have in my collection. Contrary to what it may seem, I don't always like all the decks that I get. Sometimes I do get disappointed with some, but this one, no, I just really, from what I could see online, I just really liked her images, and just really appealed to my kind of whimsical but magical side of me. Pentacles in the green. So yeah, so she, that's the color coding where I was talking about. So yeah, and I just feel that the way she put this deck together as well, the presentation. Now bear in mind, of course, what I got was just one of 100. So I'm not sure what the presentation is with the smaller deck, but this was just really lovely, and definitely one that a keeper for me, big time. It's funny, I have decks that are very much, for me, they're very much about the aesthetic appeal, right? So, and that can mean in terms of, the presentation of the deck, the images, those decks that are very much ones that are my favorites that I read with all the time. And so I'm stuffing everything back into this tin as we speak. And then there can be ones that are that are ones that I study with, or decks I want, that I'm choosing to try and get and to learn with. But this is just beautiful, beautiful all around. I'm very happy to have it as a part of my collection. So, the Tarot of Enchanted Dreams. Lovely. I love it. Really enjoyed it, and really loved the images, and thought she did a beautiful job. And just there's such a sense of a cohesiveness through the deck in terms of the theme and the imagery, which is amazing. And I really enjoyed that. And it really was, gave you that sense of it being dreamy and enchanted and otherworldly. There's that word again. Otherworldly. Yes. Good night.